Howdy, hey, it's Pete Thorn. Welcome to the second video in my Tone Secrets series. This is all about how to use overdrives and distortions and how to not use overdrives and distortions. I always keep my videos super positive, and you guys know I only like to do reviews and demos of things that I really like. In this particular video, I'm going to show you pedals that I like and that I dig, but I'm also going to show you how to make them sound bad. How to not use them is kind of the goal of this video, and then how to use them, how to dial them in, when they should be used and when they shouldn't be used, like with what amps, maybe not so much with other amps, with what settings, maybe not so much with other settings. You get the idea. I want to show you sort of my philosophy on how to use overdrives and distortions to get the most out of them. Now, somebody in a recent Gear Page thread said something about me, and I took it as kind of a backhanded compliment. They said he makes everything sound good, and he kind of makes every drive pedal sound the same. And I appreciated the compliment about my playing, saying, you know, I make things sound good, but I don't think I make every drive pedal sound the same, overdrives or distortions. And I want to show you distinct differences between families of pedals and certain types of overdrives and certain types of distortions in this video, and break them down and show you how I really do think that I make them sound different as much as any other guitar player. I've only got the hands that I've got and the brain that I've got, so things are going to come out sounding like me. But, you know, all these pedals, they do sound different. I hold here in my hand an Ibanez Tube Screamer. You guys ever seen one of these? The TS9, the venerable TS9. It's a classic. So we're going to start with this one today. I'm going to show you how to make this pedal sound like crap and how to make it sound really good, in my opinion, in kind of a classic application, okay, which is into a cranked, well, sorry, not cranked, actually turned down at first, black face style amplifier. I've got my 50 watt 1966 Fender Bassman amplifier here. I'm going to run this pedal into it, and I'm going to show you how to make it sound crappy first, and then we're going to dial it in and make it sound really good, and we're going to kind of get it going in sort of a Texas blues application. So let's get going on the first pedal in the video here, the Ibanez TS9. Here we go. Okay, so now with the TS9, I'm going to start off by showing you what I don't like to use it for. When you set your amp real clean, so I've got my Bassman on about 2.5, which would still be pretty loud, like the cabinets in the other room. But if we were in the same room with it, it'd be, you know, substantial. It's 50 watt amp at 2.5. It's like, it's making some volume. If I've got the Tube Screamer set up right here right now with all the controls on 5. So this is what the guitar sounds like on the bridge pickup with the pedal off. Okay, it's kind of clean and thin. No drive coming from the amp at all. Turning on the pedal. I'll turn it off again. Okay, I hate it when I hear the pedal used this way. It just doesn't work for me at all. What's happening is I hear this sort of, well, first of all, the volume drops a little bit because you got to get the output on the TS9 up above halfway, I feel like, to get anything happening. But when I turn it on, it's like I can hear a layer of overdrive and distortion, and I can hear this layer of clean. And it's weird to me. It sounds very strange and fake. Okay, so I hear the separation between the clean and the overdrive. That really bothers me. I don't like it at all. So now to get it in the zone, I'm going to turn up the output of the pedal. Well, let's bring it up and just kind of go by ear. Okay, at least we're getting about unity gain out of it now, which is better. It's a better sound. But now I want to bring the amp up. Okay, so right now it's on 2.5. I'm going to bring it up till it's on the edge of breakup. So let's do that with the pedal off first. The amp doesn't even sound like it's distorted yet, but it's definitely, you know, it's right on the edge of getting some clipping going. Okay, now if I turn on the pedal, okay, much cooler tone. So what's happening is you're getting a little bit of grind out of the amp. It's right on the edge of breakup. Still basically sounds clean, and if you were to pick light or roll the volume on the guitar down just a little bit, it would be clean. But the amp's nice and fat now. It's got like a good sort of robust tone going. And when you got the pedal set at least at unity gain with the output up a little bit so that it's not dropping your guitar output at all, What happens now is that layer of overdrive that's coming from the pedal is now blending with the little bit of overdrive coming from the amp, and you get this killer tone that's just great. So the way that, as I understand it, Stevie Ray Vaughan sort of did the Texas blues thing with the pedal. He had the output cranked on the TS9, so cranked right up, kicking the front end of the amp, but he'd turn on the drive all the way down to minimize the distortion or overdrive coming from the pedal. So he's almost using it like a colored boost, because it definitely adds its own tonal character to the sound. Not sure where he'd set the tone controls. I like the tone down below halfway on a TS9. I think it keeps it nice and warm and natural sounding. And I loved when Stevie Ray Vaughan used a TS9, how it almost didn't sound like there was distortion. It sounded like the sound was big and clean still, almost, like especially in a band sort of mix context. I never heard his sound as being like distorted, really. You know, it was just powerful with a lot of sustain, and the mid-range would cut through, and that was the TS9, you know, just doing its thing. So let's check it out in that kind of Stevie Ray Vaughan sort of application. See what that sounds like. Okay, here's the bassman with no pedal. Here's adding the TS9. Keeps things relatively warm with the tone control on the pedal rolled way back. The drive rolled all the way down on the pedal, and the output's all the way up. So it's kicking the front end of the amp pretty hard, but because the pedal rolls off bass, it actually attenuates low end. You can hit the front end of, you know, even a typically kind of big sounding Fender or Fender style amplifier, and it's not going to make it bloated. It's actually going to keep things tight. And that's one of the things that TS9s are great for, is actually adding gain while keeping things tight. Okay, to sum up my thoughts on the TS9 and actually all the Tube Screamer style pedals, there's a ton of them out there in the market, derivatives of this classic circuit. They just don't work well to me into a crystal clean amplifier. You got to get the amplifier cooking, like at least up on the edge of breakup, if not out and out overdriven on its own. Then the pedal just sounds fantastic, bonding with the overdrive of an amplifier. Kind of, they do their own thing, and they come together and they meld and form this really, really cool tone. The pedal does its characteristic low-end roll-off thing, which helps keep an overdriven amp tight. And it's also got the mid-hump, so it works great into blackface American-style amplifiers, for instance, that are kind of scooped sounding with lots of treble and bass, but not much going on in the mids. So yeah, that's my feelings on the TS9. It's not really an amp-like pedal at all. You know, that's a really overused term these days, maybe. It's very amp-like overdrive. This pedal is not very amp-like to me. It does a distinctly different thing than amp overdrive. It bonds with an overdriven amp and does a great tone.